Hey guys, so you're looking for the channel that covers all things photography, you're in the right place. Hit the subscribe button now. Hey guys, I'm Jade Holding from Photo Factor. Welcome to chapter 2 of getting to know some Photoshop basics. If you're only just joining us, do go back to chapter 1 where you're going to just get to familiarize yourself with some essentials to get started. In chapter 2, in this 4-part series, we're going to cover everything that revolves around changing an image size. So in this session, we're going to look at resizing an image. So let's dive straight in. Right, so we've got this image open up here, and I think it's important to just be able to determine what your image size is that you're working with to begin with, because you're either going to want to downsize in scale, or you want to upsize. And if you upsize, you can do so to an extent, but if you go too large, you begin to lose some quality. And that's because Photoshop begins to add pixels to try and make up for the pixels that weren't there to begin with. So in order to just check what your image size is, you can scroll down to the bottom of the document window, and you'll see here, you can see the image size in terms of megabytes. If you click and hold on here, you'll see all the values pop up. This image has a height, or width rather, of 6,000 pixels and a height of 3,562 pixels. Also shows you here in centimeters. And so it's good to just have this information available to begin with. Right, so now we have this image that we want to save to upload, for example, to Facebook. And so this image is way too big to upload actually pretty much anywhere on the internet. So in order to scale it down, just as a matter of interest, Facebook recommends a width on a horizontal image of 2048 pixels. So we've seen here, this one is 6,000 pixels, so we need to downsize it. And the way we do that is we go up to the top menu bar and we'll click on image, and we'll come down to image size. Click on that. And then up comes the image size dialog box. Just as a matter of interest, you can make this bigger if you should so choose. And you just bring your icon here to the bottom corner and you click and drag. And you can also move it around just by holding on the top bar here. So on the left here, you'll see a preview of the image. If you want to just make it a bit smaller so you can see the whole image, you just click on over here. And on the right are all the controls. Now there's a few things here, quite a few things here. We're not going to have to get into all of it right now. But what you do want to have a look at is this little link icon over here. So if you just want to switch it off, you just click on it like that. That's how it looks when it's off. And click back on it to switch it back on. Now the reason this is important is any adjustments that you make. Let's just show you here. Remember we said for Facebook, the recommended pixel width on the horizontal image is 2048. Notice that the height values adjust accordingly. And so when you're happy with that, you just hit enter and your image has been resized. Let's just go back a step. So we go back to image size. We said we wanted this to be 2048. And now just some other values to bear in mind. So when you're looking to save images for the web, your units of measurement will be pixels, whereas you can change this. Say for example, if you're wanting to take this to print, you might want to be working in inches, centimeters, or millimeters. But because we are saving this to Facebook, We're going to keep it at pixels, and we've already put in the values we want. The next thing you see here is resolution. And now, resolution only comes into play when we are looking at saving an image for print. And so when it is for print, you want to keep it at around 300 dpi, dpi standing for dots per inch. But when it comes to saving images for the web, resolution is not really relevant. So now that we've got everything we want, note here too that the image was 61.1 megabytes big. Downsizing it has reduced the size to 7.13 megabytes. And then lastly, just the last thing you want to remain clicked here is the resample box. And what that does is giving Photoshop permission to either throw away some pixels that it no longer requires in the downsizing of the image, or to add pixels when you are upsizing. Once we're happy, we click on OK, and you'll see the image has been downsized. It looks very small here on screen. If you look here, you'll see we're viewing the image at 33.6%. If you hit Command or Control on a Windows machine, Command or Control 0, it fills the image takes the image to fill your screen. Right, now we want to just save the image, and we go up to File, and we go to Save As, because we do not want, if we hit on Save, we're going to save over the original file, and we don't want to do that. We want to retain that image at its maximum quality. So we go to Save As, and we choose the folder where we would like to save it, and we decide on the file type we want. Now, most times you're going to save as a JPEG, and we're just going to roll with that. That's the most commonly used file format for the web. So we click on Web. We want to save it as a copy. We want to embed the color profile as sRGB, and we hit Save. We want the quality to be maximum, and we hit OK. And there you have it, real easy, right? Now you know how to change the size of an image. If you move on to our next tutorial, we're going to talk a little bit about changing the resolution of the image, which we touched on very briefly here.